What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today is episode 211. The women's college basketball championship game went down on Sunday, and the men's championship game went down last night. Tonight for us, last night for you guys watching. And of course, that's not the biggest news in college basketball right now. MLB has a bit of a Tommy John problem, or just a pitcher injury elbow problem. And I know none of you guys care about it, but the greatest 5 minutes in the history of wrestling entertainment went down last night at WrestleMania to end the show. And that was the window for you to potentially be like, you know what? Fine, we'll start. No, WWE.
I mean, look, you got me last week.
Yeah,
you got me.
I'm not getting you
last
again.
Week.
I know I'm not.
It's a little bit difficult to give me two times around. I will say I saw the clip. Somebody who doesn't watch WWE.
It doesn't matter if you haven't watched. It's still sick. Could you?
If you're our age, you're gonna enjoy it either way because and you like sports. You're gonna understand it. You'll enjoy it. Right. I don't know the nuances behind all the background information for it. I saw a TikTok on it. That's the only reason why I know important things.
I just saw John Cena, The Rock, and The Undertaker, and I was like, all right, I'll watch.
You're like, yeah, that's enough for me. I'll click on that.
I will tune in for that one. Yeah. I mean, the only thing that could have been the final cherry on top is if Stone Cold came out, but whatever. Who cares? All right. College basketball, it's championship season. We'll start off with that before we get into NFL.
Well, but it is no longer as this being posted, but yes.
That is true. So congratulations to the UConn Huskies for winning back-to-back, first back-to-back since Billy Donovan at Florida with Joakim Noah, Al Horford, and Corey Brewer. So shout out Dan Hurley. He is now
and just in case Dan Hurley is being hired at Kentucky, congratulations to the Purdue Boilermakers.
Their first ever national championship win. Matt Painter, job well done. This is massive and a massive win for the Big Ten. Everett, I could not tell you the last time the Big Ten won a national championship. It might have been under John Wooden in UCLA.
I'll tell you when the last time was. Still was back in the 60s because Purdue's not winning it, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you're gonna tell me before the tournament started Purdue is going to make it to the championship game, I would have bet against it. Give me those odds. Give me to not make it.
You're shorting it. You're shorting it.
Yes, I would short that stock. If Purdue was,
I watched that movie the other day. By the way, great movie.
Oh, The Big Short.
Yeah, I watched it again.
Oh yeah. Okay, there we go. That's a good one. Who's your quant? Do you have a quant? Is the unnamed intern our quant? Or
I believe he is our collective quant.
Yeah, that's just one of the funniest scenes ever. The Zoomies like I came in second in that math competition. Goated.
My name is
amazing.
David.
Yeah, my name's John. I speak perfect English. I am not from China. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, we.
Wow.
Back to basketball.
Yeah, little basketball. I mean, hey, because NIL is such a big thing, all these teams do need their own quant. Not gonna lie, but Coach Calipari going to Arkansas. I did not see this one coming. Did not think this was going to happen. And this apparently got leaked because Coach Cal has a clause in his contract with Kentucky that if he ever enters serious negotiation stages for another position, he has to notify Kentucky.
The school, yes.
So
yes.
That occurred. Kentucky has been made aware. And then last night, of course, Pete Thamel dropped that a 5-year deal is being finalized for Coach Cal to Arkansas. This came after last week, the Must Boss, Eric Musselman, accepting the vacant USC position. But more importantly, even though I don't necessarily care about Ohio State basketball, Coach Cal apparently wanted to go to Ohio State. Now, just
to be fair, those were like by rumor mill accounts.
Nothing.
So I wouldn't say that that's like a guaranteed thing.
Not confirmed. But
Grant, hey, I said this to you earlier. Why would you want a coach who was only able to win one time with how many NBA players did Kentucky produce?
Dude, I'm not lying. If you looked up the top 30 scoring leaders in the NBA right now, it wouldn't shock me if 12 of them went to Kentucky under Coach Cal. So, let me start off by that. He's had all the talent in the world, and he has not succeeded with it. Last time he won was with freshman Anthony Davis. So it's been a while. It's been a while since Coach Cal's got it done.
Was that pre-Unibrow?
No, Unibrow
was in existence. Okay.
Definitely in effect. Definitely in effect. I don't know exactly, but like I know Anthony Davis went from like 6'2" to 6'11" as like a sophomore in high school. But I think there's also some correlation with his unibrow starting like sophomore, junior of high school. Don't know the exact fact on that. I'll definitely need to confirm that afterwards. But that's the last time Cal's got it done. But back to your question, why would I want Cal to be the Ohio State head coach? Like he hasn't got it done, and look at how much talent he has. From the Ohio State basketball perspective, like they haven't actually been relevant. I guess maybe 2-seed Oral Roberts here, but they got bounced first round. But I think the only time Ohio State's been to a Final Four was like 2008 with Mike Conley, Greg Oden, and Mark Titus on the bench. It's been a while since they've been nationally relevant. And although Coach Cal's not going to win a championship at Ohio State, that's not the expectations for Ohio State basketball. We don't need to win a national championship to be happy. If Tyrese Maxey and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander were Ohio State Buckeyes, you wouldn't hear a peep out of me if Ohio State got bounced by Oral Roberts round 1. But because we don't have that, I will complain. So I'll just take all the money being somewhat relevant. I'll take
all the money that they would use to get Cal would have had to be used on his buyout, and then they wouldn't have money for any of the college football guys, so that'd be the problem.
Oh yeah, no, and if anything, right now that money is
Cardale's not working over. He wasn't thinking about the basketball side of things when he took over there. So
hell no, he already Cardale already has so much shit on his plate. Getting Caleb Downs to transfer. Okay, now you're telling him he has to go do basketball with Coach Cal and getting those 5 stars.
He's like, who's Coach Cal?
Would not shock me if Cardale just was not aware of anything in the college basketball.
He's too dialed in college football. No other ideas.
The ironic thing is like one of Ohio State's largest boosters, Schottenstein, like their basketball centric.
Now Jerry Jones is a booster for Arkansas, right?
Ooh, I actually was not aware of that.
I was not aware of that until I think this morning, and I saw an article post on him relating to the booster collective for Arkansas.
Okay.
I'm this is the only time I've seen it, so I'm not gonna firmly put my stamp on that saying that's the case, but it did seem pretty reliable. And if that's the case, I mean, there's no way.
I think it makes sense just because just looking at it from this, Jerry Jones, I didn't realize this. He was a captain of the Arkansas football team in 1964.
Yeah, so that would make sense. It gives me a little bit more credibility.
And they won a natty in 1964, so I believe it.
1964.
Yup. Think about that. It is 2020. That was
before my dad was born. Before my dad was born.
Everett. Slightly after mine was born, but very long time ago. Very long time.
Yeah, neither of my parents were born yet at that point in time. That's
crazy. Woody Hayes wasn't even halfway through his Buckeye coaching career at that time. So
was Bud Grant still playing for the Lakers at that point in time?
I don't know, but Tungsten Armo Doyle was certainly still throwing flamethrowers for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So
Lefty Dick Strong might have been making plays of the year then.
Ooh, Lefty Dick Strong was probably a renowned coach at the time in the college.
Oh, that was post-playing career. I got you.
I remember the 1934 Rose Bowl between the Tulane Green Wave and the USC Trojans. That was
right.
I would say that was when America was informed about the greatness
of Lefty Dick Strong.
Mr. Lefty Dick Strong. My apologies. But yeah, basketball news is a lot to take in. I guess if we're talking vacant Kentucky, first call's got to be Big Dan Hurley, who's about to play in the Natty right now. I think number two is Nate Oates, and in a weird world where he declines, I think the third phone call is Rick Pitino. I would say
I would say
Bruce Pearl. I would, but him getting bounced I don't know. Maybe that leads a different taste in the Kentucky AD's mouth. But oh my God, Rick Pitino back to Kentucky. Sign me up for it. I want it, but
I think he's in some hot water right now. By the way,
just a little.
Might influence his decision to leave.
No. Ricky P has done everything by the book. He's never done anything wrong. All right. But
Old.
okay. Some NFL talk, I'd say. Unless you got something else you want to go into.
No. Actually, one little thing, college football. This is gonna lead
I
to
guess
us.
I have one slight college football update, but yeah.
Whatever you have for your college football update, I'm sure it's Julian. I'm sure it's Julian Sane losing a stripe. Scratch that.
Oh, I wasn't
Don't worry
even
about
gonna
that.
bring that up.
What I'm about to say, we're about to sit on here for the next 20 minutes talking about.
Okay, all right, you got me.
There's a rumor. Non-confirmed rumor, but we've heard this multiple times over the course of the past couple of weeks.
Okay.
The release date for college football 25, July 19th. All right. You and I were talking about this earlier about different aspects of the game that we are hoping to see. And the one thing that I was starting to talk about was the ability to make your own uniforms. Because I saw a post earlier today. They were like, these are like the best cosmetic uniforms in like college football history. And there's Ohio State's one with JT Barrett, the like military kind of inspired one, like pattern.
Oh yeah,
inside.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oregon's got a couple, obviously. Space U from UCF. There's a wide variety.
Oregon has an entire conference's worth of jerseys just for them alone. So
yeah. Washington's got a cool one. They're like all purple, like Purple Rain inspired, which is pretty solid. Anyways, the ability to make your own uniforms in this game, we don't know. I didn't originally play NCAA 13, right? NCAA 14. I didn't play that. You did. You said that in the game they had the ability to design your own uniforms.
Real quick caveat for that edition, like in terms of in the game itself, like you're literally on your 360, you can create uniforms for if you're starting up a road to glory. Okay, you're putting your guy in high school. They give you a very limited selection, but you can customize your own high school uniforms in that sense in the game. Let's say you want to create a dynasty of your own college, university. It could be whatever shit. You can make like Disney University. I don't know, whatever you want to do. They had an online website like NCAA 14teambuilder.com, something like that. And you can digitally design your uniforms. And the reason why I really like that is because you can import logos from online. You can take like so many customization options available because it was on the internet, on the website. And you can make however many changes you want. You can go in, customize the rosters, everything. But it was online. Like it technically wasn't built into the game. But if they just had like, I don't care if it's in the game or not. Give us the website team builder, and I'd
here's the thing.
Here's the thing. Easier to put in logos.
If there is one thing, please God, EA, if there's one thing for you to take from 2K, there's a lot of things for you to take from 2K.
Historical teams.
That's one of them.
Okay,
I know you want that, but it's the customization factor. Like that is a huge thing that Madden used to have. And like in 2012, 2013, they used to have that. You could design your own stadiums, you could design your own teams, like where they're going to play, their uniforms, all that. Obviously, 2K still has that. They have different cities that you can select to play in. You build your own court, your own stadium. You can name it. You can name the team. You have logos that people create, kind of like the old Call of Duty system, right? Where you can make your own logo. That's what I want to see. That's the ability that I want to. And the bigger thing is I want to be able to have like a team. Like let's say, I don't know, let's say USC, right? USC really only has like 2 uniform combos, right? I want to take a team like USC.
For the most part, keep it traditional. I don't like when.
Yes. But I want to take a team like USC and I'm playing as them and I can design an additional jersey. Like I want to be able to add jerseys to.
So from that angle, I would doubt that they would put that in, but like if you were,
I'm not saying it online, but I'm saying like on my own.
Oh no,
I'm not like on like season 7, I want to be able to add something new to it. Like I want a little redesign.
So, like, I definitely think they should be able to do that. Like, especially if they have that team builder technology, it definitely should not be difficult to implement. I am thinking though, like a potential concern, like let's say, shit, as an Ohio State, if I could edit the Michigan uniforms, maybe not now, uploading online content, but 14-year-old Grant might add some colorful
No.
language
That
on
was
their.
my concern. That
Okay,
was a
okay,
concern.
okay,
But
okay, okay.
that's also why I'm like, the one reason why like Call of Duty stopped doing that stuff was because of that, because it's online and
Yeah,
there's issues with
yeah.
that. That's why I'm saying it cannot be online. You'd have to have it on an offline format. But like I want that to some degree. Okay. I want that to some degree. Like
I
2K
would
still does
love
it.
for
2K
that. I'd
manages to
love for
figure
that to
out
be.
how to make it work.
Yeah, I'll be at like
Yeah, no,
2K.
when the Ohio State Michigan game rolls around and you start crossing off shit on Michigan's own uniforms, that's when we've hit a whole new level.
Oh, okay. You know what? That's a great PG reason as to why it should be in, because I know,
We'll keep it with that. We'll keep it with that.
because I know for that week, like they will be
Oh,
crossing
there's
out
some
on
more.
that.
There's some more things that would be going
I'm
on
aware,
probably.
but we're just sticking to what EA would allow on a potential online game. Shit. I guess in theory, I mean, you're just loading up. Nothing like NCAA Ultimate Team moving forward. Am I right or am I
Please
right? But
no.
you
I
load up
like as a
your
community. As a community, we need
your
to all decide to not touch that.
so Madden Ultimate Team is mutt. FIFA Ultimate Team is foot.
Oh gosh.
College football,
Cut.
yeah, yeah, cuts.
You
I
cut.
guess college Ultimate Team.
It better
Cuts.
be that. It might be a problem if it goes with the NCAA route for
Yeah,
the title.
and and cat and cat.
Grant, just say it. You just say it.
NCAA ut. I don't know what you're trying to lead me to say right here. I'm not gonna lie.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
And cat and K
Peanut.
peanut.
We can go with peanut.
Sure.
P dash nut. Peanut.
Ooh, okay. All right. There's some reference that I should be making right now, and I'm not making it. So we're just gonna slightly.
And well, I was going NCAA mutt fut. If the title's NCAA.
Oh, nut.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, nut.
I thought that you instinctively knew what I was insinuating. I thought you were just playing with me.
Shit. I wish I immediately picked up on that. I just thought NCAA, yeah, would just be nut. I thought
that was the joke you were making.
I'm with nut. I'm with that. That's what it should be called. That would definitely sell the best. I think EA should do that. But I get okay. If there's one last thing that's interested me a lot about college football, we did that rating post the other week. It did a bit better than I thought it would do.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Debating back with some of our fans back and forth. And we had some mixed opinions on some of the players. It seemed we were relatively split on the overrating or underrating of certain players. And what one thing that I tried to show is that, like, I know as an Ohio State fan, Will Howard is not very good. I get it. I know.
No,
and I would rate him,
it would be
like,
one way to describe it.
85. I think though that just being the Ohio State quarterback, like, probably just be like an 86, something like that.
Here's the thing.
I am open to the interpretation though that by just being the Ohio State starting quarterback, he may just be an 80, 89. I think
that that's true, but I do also think that they're going to take a little bit more of a non-biased approach to this game than people expect. I mean,
it has been a long time since an NCAA game has dropped.
I think that it will be biased the same way the committee's biased, where it's like, I'm not going to sit down and watch they don't have like Gerald in the back watching every single starting quarterback's film from the past season and then grading it. For Gerald's sake, I hope. Actually, no, Gerald would probably be loving that, but
Gerald would have time of his life.
Gerald would be having a time of his life, but yeah, that's the their quant is not back there doing that. That's a whole nother problem. But because I think that we're going to get a very wide range of rankings. I do think that some players who typically would not be on like people's radar as like a high mid 80s are going to be up there, especially G5 quarterbacks. And I do think that some quarterbacks that are going to be normally people would be like, I thought that they were better, are not going to be rated as highly. But there will be biases in there. Shedeur be rated very high. It's Shedeur Sanders. I think that Howard will be rated somewhat higher because he's the Ohio State quarterback. There's high expectations with the team. Like, also, this is a way for the NCAA to maximize their profiles for certain athletes and certain teams. So you got to keep that in mind too.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Okay, I'm looking up at the last NCAA football game and just quarterback ratings. This has kind of shocked me. Let's start off with this. In the last edition of NCAA football, Everett, guess how many quarterbacks were rated 90 overall or higher?
Can you give me how many schools were in the last game?
100, whatever. All of shit. FBS, or is it FCS?
I'll say 14.
Close. It was 17.
I always get really close. I
thought that would be more than I initially expected, or thought.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Guess how many quarterbacks had a 95 or higher rating?
You said 17 were 90 or higher.
17 were 90 or higher. Of those 17, how many were 95 or higher?
11.
Oh, wow. I'd say that's a little too much. 5. I still think that's a good, that's still a good amount though. 5 95 plus rated quarterbacks in that game. So
Johnny Manziel being one, obviously.
So
Jameis would probably be in there.
I did not remember this correctly. I remember this so differently. Guess what Johnny Manziel's rating was in that game coming off a Heisman season?
Was it not 99?
Nope, it was 97. He was tied with AJ McCarron for the number 1 quarterback.
Disrespectful.
The number 1 player in the entire game, which makes total sense on second thought, was a defensive end from South Carolina by the name of Jadeveon Clowney. That was the only 99 in the game.
Yeah, all he had to do was see that clip, and they're like,
which does make sense at the time. But I would say I completely forgot how these ratings were done. I completely forgot. And I think I boosted a couple of guys who I thought, and also did not give many guys enough credit. Just based on the fact that 17 quarterbacks got that 90. I think, I'm not saying Will Howard's going to be a 90, but I think 88 at minimum.
I don't think 88 at minimum.
32 quarterbacks received an 88 or higher in that game.
I think that the rating scales they used in that game are going to be a bit different than this game, but that's really dependent. It's really if they really want to keep things like how they were and keep things more like arcadey college and like have that be the college football vibe, then there's going to be more. There's going to be more 90 overalls. I do think
they're not afraid.
I do think the thing that here's the thing though. In college football, especially now, there is a very, very big difference between the top elite quarterbacks, the average quarterbacks, and the ass quarterbacks. And that's what I think there's going to be a bigger discrepancy with in this game. Because in the old NCAA, right, it was really easy to level your quarterbacks up, really easy to get through there.
Well, my biggest problem with that last game is that it didn't matter what your stats were. Everybody just had a base overall upgrade after every season.
What I'm saying. So I'm saying now they're probably going to have, there's going to be a big difference between that first section of quarterbacks, that second section of quarterbacks, and the third section of quarterbacks. I don't think there's going to be many. I think there's going to be a much bigger range of where the quarterbacks are going to fall, which is why when we did our list, people were like, why, we had more of a range. We didn't have a 99 overall. Like it's kind of be a little bit more like that. And I think there's going to be a lot more quarterbacks stuck in that mid 80s than anywhere else.
I'll be honest, and considering how I would say around a decade ago, very rare for a player to have a 99 in Madden. But like It wasn't as often. Now, every single year, there's 7 players with a 99 overall on release day. And just by that thought process, I could definitely see 5+ players just getting a 99 in this game just because that's how it's going.
They have said that they're two different like divisions,
Yes,
though.
good. And you better stick by that, EA, because odds are you're gonna go backtrack on your words on that in about 8 months off of the release. But I hope
microtransactions coming in real quick. So
I mean, let's not act like it's not gonna happen, Everett. There is.
I'm hoping. You gotta let me hope. You gotta let me hope.
I can guarantee right now there's going to be a pre-order edition, or shit, not even pre-order, just a deluxe edition of the game that makes your recruiting easier. Like they already have it in FIFA. Like buy the deluxe edition and your career mode is
now.
easier.
If you do that,
like they already have that.
That just takes fun away from it. Like
100%, 100%.
Like if the pre-order bonus, like if the pre-order bonus is making it easier,
you start off with 2, or you start off with a 5-star committed to your team every season. I guarantee.
Yeah, I'm just gonna elect to not use that.
No, yeah, you should not use that if given the option. But shit, I consider myself a great recruiter, Everett. And
yeah, we're gonna find out when me and you match up.
Sometimes I gotta hold myself to new standards. I hope it's a team builder because I.
Well, so now here's the thing. You know when you and I make our inaugural dynasty league, you're not
it. I'm not Ohio State. I know. I'm not. I think we wheel for a conference, so we're in the same conference. We can do different conferences, but
I think by like I think I'm legally required to play as Tulane. Not literally, but like by just my physical, by just like my commitment to the team. I gotta get my boys up there.
We can do that. Can we move you guys?
I mean, you want to take us in the SEC? Yeah, I'm gonna win like
let's move you guys.
17 conference titles. Like we can do that.
Hey, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you heard me, Bama. We got the smoke. Okay.
I think I may get a little bored beating up on South Alabama every year. Personally, I may get bored doing that. It'll be fun, but
Hey, no, you can be in the pack too. You can rebuild the conference.
Yo, that'd be more fun. We spin the wheel. One of us is Wazoo, the other is Oregon State. Just build. I low-key love that idea.
When do we get the next 8 teams in there, though?
Well, we're gonna need more than 8. I think we go big and we start off right off the bat, add 14 teams in year 1. Let's go to 16 right away.
So we're just taking the G5. The G5 is just.
Let's start off big. Whoa. Who makes you think? I think we take modern day. I think we take St. John, but I think we take high school kids.
That's
no one ever thought of that, did they?
It's very disrespectful.
We're talking name brand here. We're talking recognition, and we can answer the question.
UConn.
Let's acquire UConn basketball to play football. Because I know UConn football is not a team. So let's acquire the basketball team, put them in pads, and let's put them.
Step 1.
Hey, I'm not sure if you heard this, but recent interview with Tom Izzo, Michigan State basketball coach.
Right.
When he started off at Michigan State, Nick Saban was the head coach of Michigan State football, and there was, I think it was a team. I literally think it was a Magic. No, not Magic Johnson. Tom Izzo team. I forget who his guy was, but they weren't rebounding well. So Izzo called up Saban, said, "Coach, can you make sure we got around 15 sets of helmets and pads? I'm teaching the boys a lesson." And they would just hit each other in rebounding drills. I will take a late 90s Tom Izzo basketball team. I will take that. Like, when we do our team builder, though, if we were to ever do it with big schools, we're making a 64-team March Madness college football playoff. That'll be our playoff settings. So who winning the conference doesn't actually mean shit. We're in the tournament no matter what every year.
Yeah, no, we're gonna start from like the lowest of the low.
I think to make it the most fun, it would be the most fun if we took over trash cans, put us in a bigger conference.
So Vanderbilt.
So yes. We start off as Vanderbilt, or we start off You could answer this. Worst team in the Big Ten. Give it to me right now. I
Big Ten.
immediately think Rutgers. I know they're not it anymore. Like
it's them or Northwestern right now.
Okay, there, Northwestern. Like that's the challenge. Like I'm saying, I just on a normal Heisman, no sliders. I literally want it. I want there to be an average gap of my player overall rating to theirs to be around 30. I want the average gap to be around 30 overall for that first.
Yeah, when you should be going up against the 99 overall team, and you're like struggling. It's the meme. You know the TikToks where it's like you're starting.
Everyone hates Ohio State.
You're starting your 3-star freshman quarterback at Penn State whiteout game, just shitting his pants. Like that's the ideal scenario here.
I need to feel what Shea Patterson felt playing in that whiteout. Like I need to know what that feels like.
What's the kid's name that was on Oregon State and he was going like
I forget his name.
He's like the coach's kid, wasn't he? I think he hit the portal. I think he hit the portal this year.
The coach's son hits the portal.
Yeah, no, I swear to God, I'm pretty sure.
That's an awkward conversation between mom and coach after that one. I mean, okay, real quick on the topic of coach's sons. When Dan Hurley's son, Andrew Hurley, plays in games, Everett, UConn is 43-0 this year. Now, yes, every time he entered the game, they were up by a million points.
We'll know tomorrow, but will he be playing tonight?
We'll find out. If they're up by a lot, I'm not even sure if they'll sub him in. I think Dan Hurley's been making a point of emphasis to his son that don't be arrogant, kid. Because last year he let him in at the end of every game and he would shoot and shit.
Okay, so before we talk about the NFL, there's one other thing. Completely, you're not even gonna expect where I'm going right now.
All
right.
Excited.
One thing I want to talk about. The Masters is up. It's next week.
Oh, yes.
And, I realized something, Grant. Okay. I don't think there is a greater award in sports than winning the Masters green jacket. And do you know why that is?
What? Okay, question. Award or like the jacket itself, getting to own that green jacket, or just being a Masters winner, you get to go to the dinners every year, private invite.
Well, that's where I'm going with this, right? Okay. The green jacket, first of all, is kind of works the same way as the Heisman. Whenever like a new guy is there, everybody, right?
Everyone's there.
So the dinner, though, winning the Masters, the Masters is the only award where you are recognized a year after winning it.
Yep.
And they do it in your honor of winning, right? On top of that, you get to pick whatever food you want.
Yeah, there's many ways you can go here. Are we talking best dinners? Are we talking getting to be at this dinner?
I don't have the dinners pulled up right now, but Tiger Woods most likely is taking it.
Well, I think actually
Matsuyama had a fire one too, though.
You especially, I think you might like that one a little bit more.
Yeah. Tigers had 5 though, so I mean, give or take.
Yeah, he has a lot to pick from. It's kind of bullshit. So,
but you get to pick whatever food you want. Everybody eats it. Nobody asks for substitutions, and you get to eat it at the most exclusive country club in the world.
I would maybe go so far to say like one of the most Bohemian Grove. Take that back. Never mind. Keep going.
Well, yeah, no, the most exclusive country club in the world.
Yes, yeah.
And you're eating it.
I was thinking of making it bigger than country club, but we'll just stop there.
Still, but I mean, just to have and you're having it with all the other people who have won. Like it's a yearly tradition. Now that you won, you always get to go back. Always get a free meal at somewhere that is.
Like you're only allowed to sit there if you won. Like.
No, you need to have a green jacket on.
Like it's not like the winner's wife gets out of the dinner. No, it's just the winner.
It's a sea of green jackets. I can't confirm. I don't know if this question has been asked before.
I need to pull up a picture. Keep going.
Yeah, I don't know if that question has been asked before. I don't even know if photography is allowed at that dinner.
No,
like it might be like that. Like you might not have. There might not be pictures of it. Which, by the way, adds even more to that, which is even sicker, right? But.
Yeah, I am looking. If you just look up, green jacket dinner, it appears if they just take one group picture at the start before dinner starts, no other pictures.
It's like the head coach picture.
Yes. No, literally, it looks It looks exactly like it, and I have the 2022 one right now where, yeah, let's just
Oh,
say
yes, I have seen that picture. Tiger Woods in the back left. Yeah, I have seen
yep.
that one.
Yeah. Tiger Woods top left. Where is I think I'm looking at this correctly, but it
Here's the
appears that
thing,
we have
Grant.
some master winners who skipped out on the dinner.
As an honored
Jordan Spieth
tradition,
was not there.
as an honored tradition, if you won the Masters, what would your Masters dinner be?
So, okay, quick question.
I
Now
know
I
you've
know,
given a lot of thought to this. Okay.
dude, this is my favorite part about the Masters. This and seeing the menu
Now,
prices
now
for
you're
just
now
the,
you're
the
asking.
concessions.
Now you're starting to
My
realize why the
favorites.
unnamed intern's dad always asked if you wanted seconds at dinner.
Well, he never asked.
Oh, just provided. I forgot. My bad.
Announced to the table that I wanted more. No asking involved. He just made
Just
it
gave
very
it to you.
clear to everyone. I want more food. Yeah, little fat ass Grant wants another steak. I know he does. But if we're just let's start with dinner
Yeah, I'd
menus.
still be working on my first steak there.
Let's start with dinner menus. I don't know exactly, but I think that it has to be of some country of origin that you're from. Like I can't just pick sushi because that's my favorite food. If I can,
I think you kind of
Ooh.
can. I think you
Okay.
could do a mix of whatever.
If we
Because it's supposed to be kind of what your like culture, what your culture
Yeah.
is, and like where you grew up, all of that stuff. Because like, I mean, you could be as white as can be, and if you grew up in Miami, you could do Cuban food, right? Like that's
yeah, okay,
it's just a part of the culture.
So, okay, I would say just as in actually, yeah, what the hell am I talking about? Tiger Woods did tacos, Mexican recently. So, okay, yeah. I think I would do something relative to what Tiger did with some fusion here. Now, not the foods itself were combined, but different I don't know, genres of food. So yeah, I believe he started off with like sushi appetizer, like
Yep.
sashimi appetizer, Japanese appetizer, and then I believe for his main course, it was like chicken.
His
and
latest
steak
was
fajitas.
steak and chicken fajitas. That was his
Yeah.
latest. He's done hamburgers before. He's done
I know
sushi, just sushi
the very
before,
first
and
one
just porterhouse steaks and chicken before.
very first one, it was very on brand because he was, I believe, the only
19.
teenager at the time to win a Masters,
19.
or
Yep.
first teenager in a while. I'm not sure which.
I
one
think
was
first
first.
senior, there was one that the youngest
Yeah.
kid, someone who was younger before.
Regardless, he's much younger than everyone else at the dinner. That was funny when he's like appetizer, chicken fingers, milkshakes, French fries. Like that's funny. That's on brand. And I guarantee a lot of the older golfers were like, "Sign me up for this." Thank
No,
God,
they were not
I want it.
complaining.
I
They were
bet
not
they were
complaining.
hyped on that. So like,
They're like,
I-
we've been waiting for somebody to do this for the last 20 years.
yeah, like I would say though, like I am getting Nobu to come out with his miso black cod because this is the one time in your life where you can get away with asking for the most expensive food item and you'll be praised for it. So I'm getting that Nobu black cod. 100%.
That's your main dish.
Yeah. Well,
So then
that's
what's your
choice
first
one.
course?
Well, that's choice.
Well, no,
one.
there's 3 courses.
Well.
What's your
if
third
I remember-
course? What's your
well,
first
if
and
I
second
remember-
course? First and third course.
Okay, let me think. Some dessert type thing that I would do. Now, personally, this may be a hot take. And I'm very, very biased by recently my dad just found an excellent pie maker in Los Angeles. But I think
Pie
yeah,
maker?
I'm thinking dessert. I'm thinking dessert now for last thing. I think some type of pecan pie would be my personal favorite dessert, but I know that would not fit with this meal at all.
It's not supposed to. It doesn't need to fit. Like that's the beauty in it. You can have things that don't fit at all.
I know, but I think I would want mine.
Tiger Woods had churros with sushi.
But that's Tiger, damn it. He gets to make his own rules.
He gets a pass. He gets a pass.
Shit. Huh. I don't know exactly what I go for dessert. Personally, I would like to throw some pecan pie in there at the end. I think that'd be.
So what's your appetizer?
Snack. Okay. Changes I've been made. Appetizer, I would go with mini tacos. Now, I know you're
Okay.
immediately thinking like those tacos. No.
No. I'm not thinking those tacos.
Oh.
But it made me think about, you know what my dessert would be? Choco taco, bitch. Give me the choco taco. Give me the choco taco.
That's actually genius. Out of
Bring
sale,
it back.
literally coming out of retirement, the Choco Taco, only for the Masters winners.
Give it
That'd
to
be good.
me.
I actually
Give it to me.
That's the best answer you could get. Choco Taco, either that or the strawberry shortcake bars. It's one or the other. That's it.
Not the SpongeBob ones though.
No,
Not those. Not those.
I'll be honest. Like
I will also take the Flintstone push pops. OG Flintstone push
oh
pops.
my god, I miss those so much. Like, the other week,
At the beach with those. Oh my.
The other week, I was just at the grocery store, and I have not considered buying a popsicle in a really long time, but I
haven't either.
I saw the popsicles, and I was like, whoa, I mean, sometimes that is what I want. Sometimes a popsicle.
They're like they're
now.
reserved for the summer though. Like you can't get pops to the summer.
No, not yet. I just saw them. I was like, whoa. I couldn't tell you the last time I sought after a popsicle. It's been a while. It's been a really long time. Shit, that might be the meta this summer. Popsicles 2024.
Popsicles.
That might be the meta this year.
Bring them back.
Bring them back.
Bring them back.
Who knows?
I
have to find out. Okay. I'm just asking the questions here.
Hey, that's what the people want to know, though, right?
Just asking. Do you want to head over onto the National Football League right now?
Yeah, we can meander on over to the National Football League.
I guess I do have a quick little MLB thing. We'll save it.
Hold on. Grant.
Breaking.
Augusta is debuting a new premium hospitality option for this year's Masters called the Map and Flag. It has all-inclusive food and drinks, dozens of TVs, a merch shop, and weekly passes cost $17,000.
There's the catch. There's the catch. All right, there's.
They're sold out.
I'm not that surprised by that either. Ironically,
I will say the Masters, though, having Costco food prices, phenomenal.
It's absurd. Like, I had a class where I had a professor like kind of break down the Masters logistics, and like he was just saying if they just sold their concessions at like a market rate, I mean, the Masters is leaving a lot of money on the table here. Like they could make way more off it.
It's a gentleman's sport.
Yep. No, it fits with the brand. Yeah. No, like they do it.
Yeah.
They do it for a reason. Like it's not
baseball.
Like
Dodgers do not do that. We can confirm the Dodgers do not do that.
Fun fact of the day: the Dodgers have now signed 3 endorsement deals with Japanese countries in the past 7 days. So that's the Ohtani Yamamoto effect, people. That's 3 deals in the past 7 days. So.
Oh my God, Grant! I forgot to mention this when we were talking about Coach Cal. Gonna have to take a step back. I forgot about this. We were just talking about chicken tenders.
What? I don't know where this is going. KFC, Colonel Sanders.
You know the frozen chicken brand Tyson Chicken, correct?
Probably.
Red Bag, Tyson. They've had multiple like plastic food recalls in their chicken tenders.
I think so. Yes.
Tyson Chicken.
I'm looking it up. Yeah. Yes. I recognize the logo.
Well, they might have influenced Coach Cal's decision to go to Arkansas.
This now that the quote heir of Tyson Foods helped the Arkansas Cal deal go through.
So he might have gotten a lifetime deal with Tyson Chicken.
What does that even mean?
Just as many frozen tenders as you want.
What
just
is that
forever.
A lifetime. What does that even entail, Everett?
I'm just thinking of a giant bathtub of just chicken tenders.
And Coach Cal just sitting in it, just like
just eating one at a time. Anyways, yeah, Chicken Tender Bandit might be back.
Oh my God, the Chicken Tender Bandit! I had not heard that. I have not heard of that phrase in a really long time, since my high school had a Chicken Tender Bandit. Wow, that's
a story for another day, but I forgot about that.
Yeah,
one.
it is.
That's a funny story.
That's
a great story.
Bandit. A former football player who had a tendency to take those chicken tendies when they were sitting there on the shelf. But okay, time for the NFL, or are we talking about Tommy John people?
Let's go to the NFL. Tommy John's a little bit less important.
All right, NFL. This is something I've been thinking about. Okay, Everett. I was asking you a little bit earlier today about Jim Harbaugh, and not necessarily Jim Harbaugh, but Chargers. What we can do, obviously, you and I, um, we're essentially married through this draft process. Our picks being so linked to each other.
Yeah, which is actually very unfortunate for both of us because
Yeah,
we both have a tendency to make bad choices. Not bad
but
choices, but like we tend to shoot ourselves in the foot here and there.
sometimes, not always,
Sometimes.
just sometimes. But we, without much choice, we are married together. In terms of what we will do in the draft, how things play out. Both of our franchises are very involved with each other, and I was just looking at kind of some Harbaugh draft history, and right now I as a Chargers fan, I'm expecting us to take a tackle with our first selection in the NFL draft this year. Okay, I am not very confident we're going to be using the number 5 pick. I do feel like we probably will trade down with the Minnesota Vikings, but even if that didn't happen, I still kind of think we would take alt at 5.
Look,
I
here's the
still
thing,
think
right?
that.
The Vikings, it's a weird situation for the Chargers, okay? The Vikings are going to wait until the draft to figure out whether or not they're going to trade up. I don't like that face that you're making right now. That's making me feel like something's going on.
Manuel Margot in his first game against his former team, the Dodgers, just hit a 2-run home run, 2-1.
Okay.
Vintage.
The Vikings are not going to make a trade if they make a trade until the draft starts. And by the way, Paul Allen, you know who Paul Allen is, Vikings commentator.
Yes, I do know now.
He's allowed to say whatever the fuck he wants. That's part of his contract with the Vikings.
Is
he gets to say whatever.
Vikings fandom, or is he the GOAT of Vikings beat writers? Okay.
Yes. He's not even a beat writer. He is the literal like radio host of the Vikings. Does the game call everything. Like you've seen those, right?
Oh, my bad. No disrespect to Mr. Allen.
I mean, that was disrespectful.
I'm
okay.
well aware. That's why I had to say no disrespect.
anyways, he coined the term Minneapolis Miracle. That was from him.
You should have led with that. That's how he's number 1. Okay, yeah.
But he said today that the Vikings fans are going to literally riot and like do horrible things if they don't trade up for a quarterback. I don't necessarily think that that's wrong.
I thought you were saying that he's kind of aware of what may happen. He was saying you guys.
No, he's aware of what they want to do. He's also stated the Vikings are like JJ McCarthy a little bit more than Drake May right now, which I thought was interesting. And that he is going to be their kind of target. But if Drake May falls, then they'll go after him. Either way, we're assuming one's a lock. I'm going to assume 2 is a lock, right? We've said this before, but those last picks, right? 3, 4, 5, that's going to be where it gets interesting because the only way that the Vikings trade with the Chargers is if a quarterback's available there.
Yeah.
Right? So that's basically going to mean that the Cardinals don't trade
Marv.
They need to take Marv or Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
The weird thing that happens here is one, if the Vikings opt to jump the Chargers and trade with Arizona, who, by the way, already has pick 27. They have 2 picks this year. They could end up having 3 first-round picks. So when you're building a team, that's not necessarily a bad idea. They might be interested in that, right? So if they jump, all right, then you're going to have 3 options: Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison Jr., Joe Alt. Then that's a question of what the fuck do you do? Because originally, if you traded back with the Vikings, right, you could get a tackle and you could get a wide receiver. You could do both. But now, if that option's not there, you're going to be forced to choose between a wide receiver and offensive line. And I honestly do think that if you're faced with that, if you do not pick Marvin Harrison Jr., you are making a mistake. And I know that Jim Harbaugh. I think
so too.
I know that Jim Harbaugh is like, hey, the offensive line runs the game. The offensive line is what determines the game. That's what everybody's reliant on, not the quarterback, not the head coach, not the wide receivers, the offensive line. Even if you're on defense, you're relying on the offensive line, right? I get that, but at the same time, Justin Herbert's had a shitty offensive line his whole career.
He even said that, but Harbaugh did say that.
He did. Justin Herbert's had a shitty offensive line. Like either way, look, What fucking wide receiver? What, like, is there a wide receiver next year that's going to be the same level as Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Real quick, in the NFL,
No, in the next year's draft,
draft.
2025 draft.
Okay, thank you. No.
No. Will there be a tackle similar to Joe Alt?
Probably. Shit. I'm guessing.
Yes. And I get that this year's class for wide receivers
100%.
is really deep. But at the same time, you have three, technically two, because QJ doesn't have hands on your roster right now. Maybe four. I don't know what your practice squad guys are looking
like. We may
like.
have four. Yeah.
I don't know what their practice squad guys are looking like, but like you can't just come in like you can't do that. The only way where it works is if they somehow manage to get Brandon Ayuk and then they get Joel. Like then that works. Or T Higgins, right? Then that works. And I know originally I was like, okay, trade for T Higgins, go get KJ. Now we got some wide receivers to work with. But since you guys didn't do that, you didn't opt to improve the wide receiver group at all. It kind of makes me feel like you have to. Like that's what you have to do. You can get offensive line help second, right? Maybe the third, right? What you have to do. That's what
I'm thinking too. We are the Chargers though, and damn it, never expect the expected when it comes to this team.
That's Blake Corum pick 5.
Yeah, I am so out on the franchise if that happens. I mean, obviously that will never happen, but like,
no, what you'll be out on is if they trade Justin Herbert and draft JJ McCarthy at 5.
Actually, that's actually the only thing that could happen that would truly make me out on the franchise. Like, if they took Alt at 5 with Marv on the board, like I am kind of expecting that to happen, so I won't be that upset.
If Marv's I will obviously on the board be mad. At 5 and he goes obviously to the Giants at 6,
I personally am going to be pissed. I just am expecting
if you don't take him and the Bears manage to get him.
Talk about a receiving core.
I'm done. If that happens, I'm done. I'm putting in my formal request to the NFL to move the Vikings out of the NFC North. Give us our own division, put us back in the Central. We'll figure it out.
Just the NFC Vikings.
Let us be like Notre Dame. We don't have a conference. We just are there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, shit. You guys get to renegotiate your own TV deal and everything. It sounds like it could work out. Maybe sounds like it might be able to work out. We'll find out. But yeah, no. Like we got to go receiver. This is also one thing. I was looking up Jim Harbaugh's draft history. Everett, guess how many offensive linemen Jim Harbaugh has taken in the first and second round when he was head coach of the 49ers? Guess how many?
First and second round?
Yeah, first or second.
And he coached the 49ers for what, 4 seasons?
4 seasons, 2011 to 2014. Guess how many of those?
I'm going to say over those 4 seasons, he took 4.
0 first and second round offensive linemen. Guess how
they had a good offensive line though those seasons. So I mean,
oh yeah. Guess how many offensive linemen he took in the third round over those past 4 seasons.
I feel like it's gonna be 0 again, but I'm gonna go with 4.
It is 2. It's 2, okay. Not 0.
Split the difference.
It's 2. What
Split
I'm
the
saying,
difference.
Here are the first round picks: defensive end Aldon Smith, wide receiver AJ Jenkins, DB Eric Reed, DB Jimmy Ward. Last 2 picks.
So Jimmy Ward was a pick. Jimmy Ward's still in the league. That's crazy.
Harbaugh pick. Yep.
Crazy. I think that was really the only one out of that was is significantly contributing to teams.
Yeah, I am just looking at his day.
Which is not great for you.
Oh yeah, no, not necessarily. I'm looking at his day 1 and day 2 picks. So okay, DN Colin Kaepernick, quarterback, wide receiver, running back, DB, DN, tight end, DB, running back.
I'd say there's no pattern.
If there's one thing we just look at, no OTs. All right. We see no tackles, no offensive linemen there. We see DBs, DNs, and wide receivers. Now obviously things are different. Jim Harbaugh, it's been 10 years since he coached in the NFL. And I would say that 49ers roster he had was better than the current Chargers one. I'll be honest.
I mean, it was pretty shitty when he got it though.
Yeah, that is true. But I mean, he had like a Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman, like he had dogs, like he had absolute.
Well, didn't he get those guys though?
There's no way.
At least
Maybe
Navarro. I'm pretty sure. At least Navarro.
like I Patrick Willis spent his whole career. Yeah, he had Patrick Willis when he showed up. He was already there, and Navarro Bowman. Quick check, dude. Navarro Bowman's currently the linebacker coach for the Chargers. What the hell?
Oh,
Still?
he probably
Oh,
just
he
got
just
hired,
got the
dude.
job. And Navarro Bowman got drafted the year before Harbaugh 2010. So he was born on third base with his defense in San Francisco. But yeah, he has a history of not exactly going O-line, but
Look,
it is different now.
also
It is different. I'm not saying
I
this is a
also just
guarantee
think
he won't
that
do it.
I
I'm
also
just
just think
interested.
that they're much more like I know tackles are important. I know all that, but like I still feel like there are a lot more premium positions that need like the secondary needs an overhaul, linebacker core needs an overhaul, wide receiver core needs an overhaul. Offensive line is ass, but like better than those other position groups.
Yeah.
And also, if you go best available player, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marv,
is the best available player.
like, hey, I know like position, and I'm very biased towards Caleb. Like, just off of overall, Caleb's the better NFL prospect than Marv or Marv.
Marv is technically the
Marv,
more surefire because he, even besides the injuries, he
I'm
has
trying to
been
take
more
quarterback.
consistent.
I'm trying to take quarterback just out of the picture here, but yeah, it's probably so much. This is also another thing with Marv. Like, there have been many moments where I almost was ready to declare season over when he gets like banged up or his ankle twists up. Like, the one thing about Marv though is that like he's never actually had like a 2, 3, 4 week plus injury that's taken him out for the season. I know he got concussed against Georgia. I know that happened, but like we're not talking in Emeka Egbuka who had tightrope surgery last year or Brock Bowers. Like, he's never had any surgeries that take him out for an extended period of time. Knock on
Yeah.
wood. Hopefully that never happens in his NFL career.
Well, you guys still have the same doctor that punctured Tyrod's lung.
Oh, if he comes to LA, I know he's getting hurt. I know he is. And
You guys
also,
should probably get rid of that guy.
no, like, and also just like, I am thinking like from an Ohio State perspective, like, because you're only there for 3 or 4 seasons, like they are trying to rush you back on the field as fast as possible at Ohio State. Like, if Marv got a little banged up, little ankle injury like he did in multiple games last year at Ohio State, in the NFL, they might just be like, all right, sit him for the rest of the game. We're not taking the risk here. You're Marv. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, he does have a tendency to get banged up a bit. And maybe in the NFL, they'll be like, not risking that. Take him out. I don't know. I've
We'll
never
see.
really
We'll
thought
find
about it
out
from
with
that
whatever
angle.
team he goes to. If it's the Cardinals, oh, trust me, the Cardinals are still playing him.
I have a feeling that is where he's going to end up in Arizona, I would guess.
Well,
Giants
considering
would be
Malik
sick,
Neighbors has
though.
apparently
Even though it
had
wouldn't be
like
cool, it'd
some
just be cool to see.
personality issues come up,
That's what I'm hearing too. Like,
I would be surprised if he's taken before Marv at this point.
oh, I would too. I'd be very
I
surprised.
know some teams liked him before, but like with the personality issues and all that, like that seems like it's gonna influence some problems here.
I'd also like to say I like my star wide receiver being a bit of a diva, being a little arrogant, having that confidence in himself, being like, give me the ball every play. But like, in order for that to work and your teammates to like not hate you, they don't like, no one likes their diva wide receiver, but for them to respect you, you still have to be really good at football. And Neighbors is very good, so maybe it'll be okay. But
Although I do think that like there's questions where it's like, hey, if he's
like
going to
Marv, you don't hear a pip squeak out of him. Like,
no,
you literally
but
don't hear.
I do think that there's questions where it's like, hey, like he goes if Neighbors goes to like the Giants or something, is there going to be a problem with him being in like New York and having that kind of exposure?
Hey, remember what Odell said when he got traded to the Cleveland Browns? He's referring to the Giants GM. They sent me here to die. Like, OBJ was literally like big city or I'm dead as a athlete star.
Yeah, he
So
did stare at the eclipse that year too, and that then fell off a cliff after getting his eyes burned. So
yeah, I mean, you brought it the other week. I'm impressed with Odell that he's kind of cut the diva-ness, and that's largely due to his on-field performance significantly degressing post-Giants career. But hey, neighbors can walk in and
No,
have a
like
lot
the
of locker
ironic
room
thing though is
friction
like
for
I've
no
been seeing
reason.
posts all day today. There's a video of Odell staring up at the eclipse in 2017, and obviously your eyes get burned if you do that, and then that correlating exactly with his fall off in the NFL. Like I just think that that's kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean,
So following up that boat picture with that is probably not an ideal direction to go.
yeah, they still haven't recovered.
No,
Isn't it no playoff win since? Yeah.
I also think
I know they've
finally all those I think
no
all those
playoff
players are
wins
finally
since
off the roster.
oh yeah.
They
Sterling
they
Shepard's
they
now
beat us.
gone,
Yes,
right?
they
Yeah.
have won a playoff game since then.
Yeah, that's messed up of me. That's on me.
Um,
You got anything else? Or quick little Tommy John talk. I can make it fast, but I'm just
I mean, if you're
this
interested in
struck
Tommy John, we can go over Tommy John.
this
Like
struck a
it's just
chord
kind of
with
been
me.
a weak a weak week for
Yeah,
information.
yeah. I mean, we're not getting any crazy news right now, but there's been a massive uptick in Tommy John injuries recently. We've talked about it a lot on this podcast, of course. But I've got some potential theories from both players and from my brain about why this uptick in TJ is happening. But as Doctor Everett, ours truly on this podcast, I kind of want to get your insight and expertise on this matter. To be honest, so real quick, I'm just gonna go over some of the notable guys who have gotten not exactly Tommy John, but an elbow injury past 4 years. Okay. 2021, ironically, 3 Dodgers. These were the 3 notable guys. James Paxton, Dustin May, Tyler Glasnow. Ironically, pretty funny. That was 2021. 2022, Injin Ryu, Walker Buehler, and not a pitcher, but Bryce Harper got Tommy John in 2022. We'll just toss him in there. 2023, big year. Jacob deGrom, Dustin May, again for the second time in 2 years. Liam Hendricks, Shane McClanahan, Tony Gonsolin, Sandy Alcantara, and Felix Bautista. 7 all-star pitchers with TJ. And then in just this season, we are 2-3 weeks into the year. Shane Bieber, Yuri Perez, and now potentially Spencer Strider and Framber Valdez all need Tommy John surgery. This is a lot now. This is now at a very, very high rate of all
Look,
these
though,
big name guys.
it is, and I think there's a couple factors that go into this. First of all, the major uptick that we saw last season when you were listing that out
Yeah,
coincides with the pitch clock and not having as
It
much
does.
time to kind of leave your body like ability to there's so much force that goes into a pitch and you're putting so much on your elbow in any pitching motion, right? So having to force these pitchers to go so quick and they're going so deep and throwing that many balls that can like it's just so much wear and tear, and they decreased it even more now, didn't they? So
I'm not entirely sure. I believe the rule is currently 15 seconds. I'm not sure if they changed that.
either way, I mean,
That's still very quick.
even more stress on it on top of last season, like a year, however many months in between seasons is not going to be enough time for their elbow to heal. Like there's a much higher risk now of all that happening. The other thing on top of it, I did see this picture. I do think it makes a little bit of sense. A lot more pitchers this year in the modern era of baseball kind of throws with the flat. They kind of throw flat. If that makes sense. Imagine
Talking
your
arm
arm,
slot?
elbow. Yeah, they kind
Uh-huh.
of throw more flat.
Yeah,
Nolan Ryan,
I was seeing
those old
that too.
pitchers kind of go up and over. So
Overhand.
it's more like football. It's more like a football throw where there's less stress kind of going on your arm like that. Because when you're coming down on a side, there's gonna be more stress on your arm. So
Yeah.
I do think there's a couple little bit of different factors, but I think the primary candidate of this issue arising now is the pitch clock, which I don't know if the MLB is going to do anything because the pace of the game and
It's
entertainment
so
purposes
much faster.
is kind of necessary to keep building an audience.
It makes it so much better from a fan perspective.
But I do think that teams are aware of it, and I do think that means teams like the Dodgers are not letting their pitchers go as far into
we'd
games.
like that to continue going further. Don't know why Glasnow got to 100 the other night, Dave.
That was stupid. But like, I think it also just kind of sucks because you want to see your pitchers go far. Like we're gonna see
You want
less,
your guys to go deep. You want to see them
but
have those moments.
we're gonna see less shutouts. We're gonna see less
Complete games
like
almost dead.
complete like
It's not a
no
thing
hit.
anymore.
Like we're gonna see less of those. And like even last year, Kershaw, he almost had a no hitter, right? He almost had a no, and I think we pulled him like the eighth.
He could have. I'll be honest. This is fading my memory right now. I'm not gonna lie.
It was
I
either
have
a
to say,
no or just a shutout, and he was like, and he went up to Dave, and he was like, Dave, just like it's fine, take me out in the eighth.
yeah, like moving on to your point, like I feel like nowadays there's way more combined no-nos than a one pitcher no. Like the amount of combined no-nos that it's like shit. There might be like one every month. Like you do not see guys get deep into games anymore. They are getting the shorter leash now. They are getting yanked the second they show any signs
Which kind of
of
sucks because
fading.
a part of the enjoyment and like the factors that make baseball are those moments.
Percent. You want to see starters go deep into games. Like shit, that's why we're paying them all this money. Like you better be getting through 8 innings, 90 pitches. Like that's why you're paying them 300 plus million. But like just with the elbow stuff, like they can't do it. So pitch clock, what you're bringing up, I agree 100%. That was an unintended consequence that the MLB did not foresee. Something else that I noticed though, and I had to find this back in 2021 when these issues started rising. Tyler Glasnow, went on the Rays at the time, said that the MLB cracking down on sticky stuff and not spider tack, but sunscreen and the rosin bag. He said that he has noticed a massive difference the day after pitching and how sore his body is. And Glasnow explained, like, look at me, I'm 6'9", my hands are massive. Like, I don't need spider tack to throw the ball well. But when I use sunscreen and rosin, I was always taught soft grip, treat it like an egg, don't squeeze the shit out of the ball. He says now it is a complete 180, squeeze the ever living shit out of it as tight as you
Like
can.
also I'm gonna be honest with the pitch clock and stuff now. I feel like they should let pitchers have that.
Yeah,
Like
if anything,
looking back on it,
It's
like when did they stop allowing rosin and sunscreen?
2021.
What was the year that had the most home runs ever?
That was 2019, but shit, like
no, that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
Ooh.
The year
Okay,
that they had the most explosive offense, pitchers were allowed to use sunscreen, rosin, spider tack. They had all that. So if the whole concern was, hey, you know what, this is unfair to the batter. This is we can't allow this to happen because it's an unfair advantage, right? You can't say that when statistically speaking, the best offensive season for batters collectively across the board was a season in which everybody was fucking using it. Everybody was using it. And Tyler, Tyler Glasnow, I'm sure, I don't know what his deal was. I don't know how much he's using in general, but I'm sure that using sunscreen and rosin makes it a little bit easier to just hold the ball, like you said, holding an egg. And I mean, Trevor Bauer probably came out in 2019 that was talking his shit in 2019, being like, I'm using this every day.
I'll be honest, Trevor Bauer actually ruined this whole thing and set the MLB just on a frenzy because like he tweeted out one day just like, you guys are, wondering how did I, make a massive jump up past 2 seasons. He's like, just take a look at the spin rate and you try to find an answer as to how I gained 500 RPM in 2 years. Like he was admitting open, like right there, like, yeah, spider tack's the only reason I'm an all-star now. Like he was just saying it in clear plain sight.
I just think that I looking back on it, I don't know why the MLB wanted to crack down so hard.
The problem was like Garrett Cole and Trevor Bauer. Garrett Cole was breaking baseball 2019 with his spin rate.
But guess what? Like that's why he's getting paid so much money. That's the
ironic part.
That's why he's getting paid. Like he got paid directly after that season, right? Like that's when he went to the Yankees.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I know immediately he got blown up with. Like I was making jokes about it. Garrett Cole as a sure your fee, right? Like I get all that. But I also think at the same time, like if you're a pitcher and you're using spider tack and you're getting blown up, like there's a skill difference still. So I don't understand why the MLB, even at this point in time, like I feel like it is only fair and right because they put in the pitch clock, one, to accelerate the games, but to two, give the batters are getting an advantage during that.
Dude, the biggest advantage of the pitch clock is anyone trying to steal a base. If that pitch clock gets down to 0, you know they have to start pitching and you can get a perfect jump. Like that was the unintended consequence no one saw coming. Like Acuna's 70 bags last year is not that crazy when he gets to take a larger lead with the larger bases. He doesn't need to run as far with the larger bases. And then he also gets a perfect jump now with the pitch clock. Now it's like, all right, stealing is way too common. Like the fact that we don't steal more as a team is pathetic. Freddie is excellent.
Yeah,
at staring at the pitch clock and getting his steals. Excellent.
I think that to mitigate injuries, bring it back.
Spider tack.
Bring back the Choco Taco. Bring back Spider tack.
Like
bring
at
back
minimum,
rosin
bring the rosin back. Okay, the sunscreen rosin part is just funny. Like if you want to use rosin, they will literally check your skin and make sure you don't have sunscreen on. So MLB, you want the pitchers to be tougher than the sun. I'm kidding. We've already made that joke, but
MLB, you want them to get
tougher
melanoma.
than the sun. You want to be tougher than the sun.
You want them to get melanoma.
Tougher than the sun.
You heard it here first. The MLB promotes
get skin cancer. Get skin cancer or Tommy John. You pick. What do you want? Literally, pick your poison. But yeah, I mean, all that stuff really started because of Garrett Cole's spin rate. They were like, all right.
I think here's the thing though. Even in 2019 when he was having like that disgusting season, he was still getting hit off. He was still hitting home runs on him. Offenses were blazing that year.
No,
here's the ultimate. Here is the ultimate solution, Grant. Here's the ultimate solution to all the fucking problems for the MLB. Here it is. Keep the pitch clock. Bring back rosin, sunscreen, spider tack, whatever the fuck you want. And then juice the balls every year. That is the ultimate fix for everything. Pitchers will stop bitching about just soreness and an inability to do things. They're going to have the advantage of using spider tack to take the stress off of their joints, whatever the fuck they want to use. Garrett Cole's not going to bitch about it. All right. Batters get to have juiced balls to be able to hit dingers with, and they get the advantage of a pitch clock. It's a win-win for everybody. Baseball still moves fast. Pitchers' injury rates are going to go down. Home runs are going to remain the same. Offensive efficiency is going to remain the same. It's going to be fine.
I also would just say, like, from the new outlook of the Dodgers, I'm very in favor of juicing these balls even more. I'm very in favor of it. I'm all for it. I think that would help us out.
I mean, I think it would help out everybody, anybody, any team.
Yeah, I'm just thinking for our scenario, I feel like we will benefit more from juice balls by Ohtani flyouts being home runs. I think we'll benefit a lot.
Yeah, I mean, his exit velo is like up on this year, right? Compared to last year.
I believe his exit velo is up. Everything else is down though, but his expected on base are still very high. And it's just like real quick. Ohtani right now is one of the most unlucky hitters in the MLB. On the other hand, Mookie Betts, I believe, is like the second most lucky hitter in the MLB right now, which makes sense. He is hitting at an unsustainable rate right now, 100%. So naturally, those are going to fall.
Yeah, they're gonna go down.
I guess if there's one guy I want to give a big shout out to right now, it's Will Smith. Guys can get their big money and then slump for a little bit because they're not focused or whatnot. Will Smith is, you would not think for a second he just signed 140 million. You would think he's in a contract year still. So I want to shout out the baby boy, Will Smith.
With that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, raise 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and on Instagram at WaterboyPod. Follow me and Grant on Twitter at Everett and at WaterboyGrant. We post new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday on YouTube and all podcast platforms. So make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss a single episode. We post new Instagram updates whenever it's exclusive content. Make sure to follow us there. We post on TikTok every Tuesday to Sunday. So make sure you follow us there for exclusive content. Some of that also goes over to Instagram, like I said. So check us out there. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Waterboys out.